Hello, and welcome back to another episode of my 30 plus decks. Today I'm going to be using something that's quite a bit different from my last deck, except for one thing, which is it makes a decent amount of tokens. This deck is a personal favorite of mine, and it is one of the ones that I was kind of thinking would be able to beat Ovika. It has. Definitely has. And it's just kind of a personal favorite. I made it last year on Easter Sunday, and it is my Easter Sunday deck. This is Cadira, Caller of the Small, as the commander. Let's go ahead and on her. 3 cost, 3/3, trample. Whenever Cadira, Caller of the Small, deals combat damage to a player, for each token I control, I make a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. And I'm very fortunate to have friends that are artistic and have drawn me some wonderful, wonderful rabbit tokens. Oh yeah. Let me actually grab one other. That'll be if they get scary. I'll do that in a minute if they get scary. I've already got my hand drawn. I think that I am just about ready to go. And yeah, one thing that unless it really matters for the deck, I really won't keep track of life. And that includes my first play of tap. Actually, I was just a clicky thing. There we go. Turn 1. Land intercept, gain life. I'm not going to track it. Untap, upkeep, draw. Works for me. Let's go with another tap land. And I have my reasons. My tempo win. I will pass the turn. That should have been 2, so that would be 3. Untap, upkeep, draw. Another tapped land that I drew into. Let's just play a land and go right into Cadira, Caller of the Small. 3/3 trample, as I just mentioned. Let's go to turn 4. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Neat. Here kind of was my plan, but it doesn't actually work. So, forest. I will go 1, 2, and agree. For mouth, I make a 3/3 hippo. Now this one, that same friend that made me a rabbit is going to make me a hippo, but for now, I've got this guy. Oh yeah. Yes, it is a Dutch Roast sticker that I cut up. Anyways, let's go. And I think that this is the time that I would say swinging. At turn 4, I've got a 3/3 trample. I'm pretty sure that one of my 3 opponents would take it. And that's just a guess. I will make, the educated guesses of, when should I attack? I don't know. Let's go to turn 5. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Neat. Let's go with forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, not quite. It's gross. It's great. It's beautiful. Let's go something like this. 1, 2. Sword of the Squeak. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature I control with base power or toughness 1, which is currently 1. And whenever a hamster, mouse, rat, or squirrel I control enters, I may attach Sword of the Squeak to that creature. I do have those creature types in here, but for the most part, they're rabbits. Let's go 2. Equip Sword of the Squeak to Cadira, making her a 4/4 trample. And by turn 5, 4/4 trample, is it big enough? That's really one of the things where I kind of think, is it big enough? I'll just say 4/4. I'd really love it to be bigger, but I can't get it any bigger until next turn. So I'll pass. Go to turn 6. Untap. Keep draw. Interesting. Neat. I could go Temple of Plenty, enters tapped, and I will scry one. I love this guy, so we'll keep him up top. I will go ahead and let's just get that out and plan for a double next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of my personal favorites. I think that it was definitely underlooked, still underlooked, underappreciated. My luxurious locomotive. Oh yeah. Whenever luxurious locomotive attacks, I create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn. It has crew 1, but only once. So he's cool. He's freaking cool. Neat and cool. Still, no extra creatures, so let's just go into my final turn. Untap. Keep. Draw. Land for turn. Now I do have him. That would make you bigger. So let's go like this. Green, white, and 1. Battle for Brettguard. Create a 1/1 white or human warrior. Creature token. Where's my human warrior? I know I have him. Human warrior. Which is another 1/1, which means that you are currently a 5/5. And then that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, being a green, white, and 2 for Huatli, Radiant Champion. Now, I could potentially plus to just give her a whole bunch of loyalty, but that's not smart. I'm instead going to -1. Target creature gets +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures I control, which, while that's on the stack, I'm going to, before it has resolved, I'm going to tap 3. Is that smart? Of course it's smart. I'll tap 3, crew luxurious locomotive, and then when that resolves, that will be Cadira getting +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures I control, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So currently getting +7. So right now a 10/10 trample, which I'm much more comfortable swinging with. So I'll be swinging with Cadira and luxurious locomotive. 10/10 trample, and this is a 6/5. But whenever it attacks, I make a treasure for each creature I control that crewed it, which is 3. So, let's go in here. I've got so many tokens. Let's go with the fun treasure. Oh yeah. And we have 3 of them. So now, I'm assuming that Cadira, the 10/10 trample commander, goes through. Luxurious locomotive having a booty of 5 might die, but I think that I'll just try and swing accordingly, or it hopefully won't die. And when Cadira deals combat damage, that's bunny for each rabbit, I guess technically, but it's a bunny for each token I control, which is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm making 6 untapped rabbits. I currently have 7 rabbits. One of them is tapped. And that's 6 blockers for Huatli. There we go. That was my final turn. So no more with this game. Let's move on to the next. Yeah. So, with this deck, I have a number of ways to make tokens. The tokens really do not matter. I have lands that make tokens when they enter. I have lands that make tokens. It's that one that makes Phyrexian Mites. I can't remember its name off the top of my head, but yeah, I have that one in here. I have a number of things to give +1/+1 equal to the number of creatures I control. There was that one that you saw, the Sword of Squeaks, that is specifically to the number of creatures I control with base power or toughness 1. There's one sword, I think it's a sword in here, I really like. It's oh man, something like it enters and it doesn't do anything, which is a little bit, I don't know, counterintuitive when you're thinking about Commander and, you know, well, making this deck the best that it can be. But it's something like the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each charge counter on the equipment, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you put a charge counter on this equipment. So it is something that's just constantly getting bigger and better. Excuse me, bigger and better. And it's one of those cards that's just kind of crazy good when you really get going. Okay, I'm actually really fine with this. Just as far as, you know, trying to get tokens. Here we go. Let us go. Action. Turn 1. Draw. That's a pretty good turn 1. Let's go Forest, tap, Many Partings. Search my library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into my hand, then shuffle. Create a food token. So I will go and I will search for a basic Plains. That will be going to my hand. And I'll be making this food. Many Partings goes here. And now it really is like, okay, I've got Cadira, quote, online as far as tokens go. Any token will do, and Many Partings is one of those. Great set. Let's go. Then turn 2. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Very neat, very neat. Let's go Plains. Where did that come from? 1 and a white for Builder's Talent. When it enters, I make a 0/4 wall. There's my 0/4 wall. That is its first level. Second one, it's whenever one or more non-creature, non-land permanents I control enter, I put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control. And then its final one, when this becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty sweet. Doesn't happen super often, but it is neat. Let's turn 2. Let's go to turn 3. Untap, upkeep, draw. I love that card. It's just gonna have to wait. Land. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Cadira, color of the small. Now, actually, let me take that back. I've got a better idea. Let's go green, white, Beauregard Mentor. He's a 2/2 trample right now. I'll tap 1 for Lava Spur Boots. Now, I will pass turn. 4. Tap, upkeep, draw. Now, that is something where I'd want Mirex. I couldn't remember what it was called earlier, but that's what it is, Mirex. Let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. That's green, white, and 1 for Cadira. And then let's go ahead and tap 1 and equip Lava Spur Boots to Cadira, or move 2. Currently making her a 4/3 haste trample ward 1. And swinging. Yeah. That's going to be 4 commander trample at whoever I don't think can block it. 1, 2. That is 2 tokens. So I'm making 2 reds. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My Beauregard Mentor is currently a 5/5 trample. Sweet. Continue. Turn 5. Untap. Upkeep, draw. Let's go Botanical Plaza. Enters tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be you. 2, 3, 4. I'd rather have that at like that or that. So let's go white and 1. Hanwar Militia Captain. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control 4 or more creatures, I transform. Hanwar Militia Captain. As far as that goes, my commander is a 4/3 trample haste ward 1, but does not. It's not big enough for what I'm thinking, so let's just continue and go turn 6. Untap, upkeep, draw. Neat. Let's go Evolving Wilds. Let's go white, white, and 1, 2, 3 for Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens are created under my control, that many 4/4 flying white angels are created. 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. There we go. Are created instead. Now, the one thing that I did forget was an upkeep trigger. That is Hanwar Militia Captain. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. So Hanwar Militia Captain will flip. I just said I have 6 creatures, so he is a 6/6 creature. I will crack my Evolving Wilds. I think that I will get a Plains. The battlefield tapped. Now the other part with the cult leader, the Westvale cult leader, the creature that just flipped, is at my end step I will be making a 1/1 white and black human cleric, which is then going to be the 4/4 flying vigilance angel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really does make that a little bit difficult, a little bit less than ideal, but we work with it. So, if it wasn't safe to attack last turn, then it's not going to be safe to attack this turn. It's something like that. In actual practice, it's something where if I play like this and then expect it to be different in practice, then I can kind of give myself an edge, in a sense. So that is me making that angel. Pretty much what I mean is like I'm limiting myself when I'm playing like this, when I'm goldfishing. And part of that limitation is I'm only playing up until turn 7. Sometimes I do go uncontested because they're just not, like, everyone's trying to do their own thing. And so me going uncontested while just practicing my decks, and I know exactly how the deck is supposed to go and what I'm trying to do and all of this stuff, it really just comes out to when I actually am doing this in-game, in a real game. Or sometimes it just goes way better because it's like, hey, it's turn 8. Or, yeah, it really can be something like that. It's turn 8 and blah. Let's see. There's not really much more that I can do. That was my end step, actually, so let's untap. Let's go to final turn. It's also one of these things that's, I guess where I was initially going with that. Potentially, I could have swung turn 5, turn 6, getting more and more and more tokens every turn. Because right now those rabbits are all going to be angels, and so that's a disgusting thing. But let's go. That's the untap, upkeep, draw. Darn shame. Temple of Plenty, enters tapped. It's okay, I guess. Let's go white and 1 plus 1. That one's that. Nope, I guess I can't. White and 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. It was so close. It was so close. Jacked Rabbit. 1-2 with Ravenous. Now, Ravenous, I believe, is if X is 5 or more, then I draw a card. X is 4, so whatever. But, X being 4 is making Jacked Rabbit a 5/6. Whenever Jacked Rabbit attacks, I make a number of 1/1 rabbits equal to Jacked Rabbit's power. Now, I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to untap Mirror X and make X 3. And then I'm going to use Mirror X to re-equip Lava Spur Boots over to Jacked Rabbit. Now Jacked Rabbit is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5/5 with haste and ward 1 that I will attack with. And I'm making a number of rabbits equal to his power, which is actually making a number of angels equal to his power, which is 5. So I'm up to 6, 4, 4 flying vigilance angels. I could also swing in an angel. It's one of those things. But yeah, Jacked Rabbit is now a problem. Before I continue with the turn, or maybe before I end my turn, it's going to be tapping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Seraph of the Masses. It has Convoke, so I can cast. I can tap creatures to cast it. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures I control, which is currently 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's a 14/14 flying. And the Westvale Cult Leader is also 14/14. End step, I make another Human Cleric, which becomes an angel, so they're both 15/15s. That is that game. Yeah. I didn't upgrade Bundler's talent, but really, it's not focusing non-creature, non-lands. It can. I can go treasures and clues and foods, and you know the card. But more often than not, it's just a 2-cost that gets me a 0/4 token. There is more to it in the deck, of course, but that's the basics. For that card, I like that. Let's not only regather tokens, but we will reflip flipped cards for the one more game. Many pardons. Beautiful start. Now, there are things where if I start giving Cadira flying trample is not very easy to block, so I will swing with that more consistently. You've probably already noticed that it's kind of depending on size. If Cadira is certain big at a certain turn, then yes, I will absolutely swing with Cadira. There are other things that I hadn't quite mentioned yet that I am also trying to do in this deck, and that would include Double Strike. There are things in the deck that also can make her more or less unblockable, but more Double Strike is where the beauty is, because that's something like, let's just say I have 5 tokens. She deals first strike damage, I make 5 tokens. She deals regular damage, I make 10 tokens. So we went from 5 to 20 just like that. And that's great. Especially when it's, you consider that she can be potentially unblockable. There are things like Rogue's Passage in here. There's one-time things like Wedding Invitation. I know that does do the extra bit for vampires, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it also is just great unblockable one time. And I get to draw cards, so it's good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I do that often enough. And one land. Let's do this because I don't want it to be that. Let's just... a little bit of a shuffle. Another one of my favorite cards in this deck is actually an adventure. I want to say that it's called the Horn of Valhalla. Its spell side is X, white, white, to make X 1/1 white soldiers, something like that. And then its equipment side is 2 and a white. I think it's also a 3-cost equip. But equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. So not only is it making me tokens, but it is making Cadira, probably Cadira, huge. Quite large. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. That's good. That's good. That works for me. Okay. Let's go like that. I think that's actually perfect. Neat. Neat. Sweet. Let's go. Turn 1. Let's go. Botanical Blossom. I just tapped. Do 2. Untap. Keep draw. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go. Windswept Heath. I will crack it. I will pay 1, and I will search for... You know, thinking about it. I don't know if this has any fancy lands. I have 30 plus decks. I cannot afford all of the fancy lands in all of my decks, but man, I got cards that make do. Just a quick scan here, and this is another thing that's really just great about gold fishing is, hey, I don't know before I use that, I don't really know if there's a fancy land. Now I know it is not. So unless I put one in there in the future, I can just search for basics. They will enter untapped. Tap 2, Sword and Squeak. Let's put this upside down and pass to my 3rd turn. Untap. Upkeep, draw. Let's go land for turn. Should I? It's actually not a bad idea. 1, 2, 3. Cadira. And let's go turn 4. Untap. Upkeep, draw. That is another Plains. That could be... it's looking gross. Which is actually... I can only see one major problem. And that's actually remedied next turn. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Brass Knuckles. Now I don't actually have a token for Brass Knuckles, but I do have Infinite Token. Let's just draw the Knuckles. How many should there be? Maybe 3 spikes. And that R just got eaten by the bee. Brass Knuckles. All right. It's turn 4. I've got a 3/3 trample. I think that in the past I've swung with that, so let's go. I have 1 token. making 1 rabbit. Let's go to turn 5. Untap. Upkeep, draw. Neat. Let's go. Canopy Vista. Enters tapped unless I control 2 or more basic lands. So that's cool. 3, 4, 5. Let's go 1 to equip. 1 to equip. 1, 2, 3 to enchant with Strength of the Harvest. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature and or enchantment I control. So, it itself is an enchantment. Let's go. Boom, boom. The knuckles. Oh, the equipment knuckles. Anyways, 3, and it's +1/+1 for each creature and or enchantment I control. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6/6 trample double strike, because as long as it is, or as long as equipped creature has 2 or more equipments attached to it, it has double strike. So I'll swing with you as a 3, 4, 5, 6, as a 6/6 trample double strike. On first strike, I have 2 tokens, so I am making 2 rabbits, and then regular damage. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's go to turn 6. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Let's go with a plains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haven't missed my land drops, which is awesome. Let's go 1 white for Hyena Umbra on Cadira, giving first strike, which really doesn't matter. It's the +1/+1 and totem armor that I care about, really. And then I can tap white and 1 for Spellbook Vendor. It's a 2/2 vigilance. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I may pay 1. When I do, I create a sorcerer roll and attach it to target creature I control. I will tap 2, and I will equip Sword of the Squeak to Cadira, and I will move to combat. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I may pay 1. And if I do, I put a sorcerer roll on Cadira. And then I will be declaring attack with Cadira. On declaration of attack, whenever this creature attacks, scry 1. Oh yeah. And let's add it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. So that's another thing that I just realized that I did miss last time. I'm not tracking damage, but it is something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or something like that for last turn strength. It would have been that 6 on first strike, and then I would have made the 3 rabbits, and then it would have been 9. So that unblocked would have been 15 total damage. Gross. Excuse me. It's also continuing with that whole track. Something like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Oh, man. Actually, I should do this first. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 plus 7. So that's 24. 24. And it's technically a 24-24 trample double strike. Yeah. With that, it's something like, let's say they can block the first strike and still live without commander damage killing them. That's 7, 8, 9. So that's up to 16 tokens. Yes, the sorcerer roll is a token enchantment. So 9 plus 7 is 16, which makes you, oh my gosh, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Plus 16, 26, 36, 42, 42, 42 trample into regular damage, which is 16, 17, 18 more, which 8 would be 24, so that's going to be 34 rabbits. Yeah. Oh yeah. Making it just an exponential monster. Now, I did promise 7 turns. I know that with Avika last time I only went to 6 because that last game only needed 6. Untap, upkeep, and draw. This is one of those things where if I was tracking health, it would be funny. Yeah, and since I didn't draw my land, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Casting Aragorn and Arwen wed. It's a 3/6 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, I put a 1/1 counter on each other creature I control, and I gain 1 life for each other creature I control. It is currently 34, 35, 36 life being gained, and counters on all of them. Yeah. Swinging and dealing combat damage. Let's see. 36, 37, 38. So 8, 30, 4, and then 70. So 146 rabbits if I were to swing, but it actually would probably be the less than that because they wouldn't survive the first strike. Probably. Alright. That's enough win maxing for today. Silly. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Hope you stayed till the end. Hope you like my deck. Have a great rest of your day.